In this video, I'm going to show you how to set everything up so that you can integrate Firebase into a SwiftUI application. This will be the first in a series of videos where I'll walk through some of the basic features that you might want to make use of in SwiftUI with Firebase. And I'm going to try to keep it rather succinct, so hopefully I'll be able to get through everything in less than 5 minutes. I did create a GitHub repository with some starter code that you'll want to clone if you're going to follow along. Make sure that you clone setup, I guess the branch 1_setup if you're going to be working along with me. I'll trust that you know how to do that. Three things that we're going to try to accomplish. We're going to create a Firebase project and register an iOS app. Those will both be done in Firebase console. And the third thing we're going to do is add and initialize a Firebase SDK, and that will be done in Xcode. So, all right, so the assumption is that you have, in fact, cloned my Firebase project, and there's not a whole lot going on, a couple views and a couple classes. So we'll be making use of most of this in the next video or two, where we'll talk about authentication and then database. Today, we're going to start in the Firebase console, which you can get to by going to console.firebase.google.com. Once you're there, you'll have to create an account. And once you're logged in, you should see a screen that looks something like this. I have a bunch of projects from past things that I've done. You will not see that the first time you log in, but you should see something that says to create a project. So we'll do just that. I'm going to call my project, SwiftUI. Probably not the best name, but that's what I'm going with. We don't need Gemini. And we don't need Google Analytics, so I'll uncheck both of those and simply click Create Project. This does take just a moment or two, so you just have to be patient. All right, we're back and we have our Firebase project created. So we'll hit continue and it will take us to the main page for this project. And we're going to add an iOS app to our Firebase project by clicking on the iOS application icon. And we need to get our Apple bundle ID. And this is something that you get from Xcode from your project. So I'll click on the main icon for my project. And under the general tab, you can see that it has the bundle identifier. Oddly enough, this is not something you can like click on and copy here. You have to hit the little arrow. It takes you to the next screen. And I'll just do Command A, Command C to copy it, head back over to Firebase console and paste it in. We don't need to worry about the nickname or the App Store ID. So I'll just hit Register App. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is download a configuration file that will add to our project. So simply click on Download Google Services -info.plist. I think I may have already done this in the past, so I might have multiple. Nope, I only have one. Okay, so now that I have that file, I'm simply going to take it and drag it into my project. I think it will give me some sort of option like, do you want to copy or move files to destination? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just do copy and hit finish. And we have our configuration file in our project. All right, so I'm going to head back over to Firebase console and hit next. And now we need to add the Firebase SDK to our project. So I'm going to copy the GitHub repository URL for Firebase and head back over to Xcode. And in Xcode, I'll go up to File and Add Package Dependencies. All right, so once I'm here, you're gonna want to click on GitHub. I think I've used it recently, so it would have popped up just on the recently used. But for us, we're going to paste that URL into the search bar and it will come up right away. And we'll click Add Packages. Once again, that can take a moment. That was really fast for me, but usually it takes a little bit of time. All right, now we'll see a list of all the different products that we can add to our project. And we're just interested right now in Firebase Core. We'll come back and add some other things as we go. But again, for right now, we're just going to add Firebase Core. So I'll click the little drop box across from Firebase Core and choose the name of my application and then hit Add Package. All right, and again, it takes just a minute. And you can see all the package dependencies necessary for Firebase to configure are now included in our project. So back to Firebase console, I'll hit next, and you can see that we have all the code that we're going to need to initialize Firebase. So I'm going to copy the import statement. I mean, that's not difficult. I could have typed it, I assume, but whatever. I'll just copy it. And we need to go to our apps main struct. So this is SwiftUI underscore Firebase app colon app. You can see it, what implements the app protocol. And inside of this file, I'm going to import Firebase. So that's the first thing I need to copy and paste in. Next, I'm going to take this entire app delegate class and copy it. If you click that little copy symbol, it only copies that single line, but we need the entire class. So we'll paste that in. And then finally, we'll copy the declaration of our app delegate and paste it inside of our struct as well. And that's really kind of it. I mean, I'll hit build, Command B, just to make sure everything was done correctly. Succeeded, no need to run it at the moment. I'll hit next over my Firebase console and continue to console. And that's it. We've now configured Firebase in our SwiftUI application, and we're ready to start working on authentication.